สวัสดีค่ะ
Sawasdee krab. Honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to Inside ScII. I'm Sala Wienkau, or you can call me Zen for short. I'm a first-year student from BAScii.
And I am Nindong Samaitong, or you can call me Cartoon, also a first-year student here at BAScii, and we will be your moderators for today's event. Now, before we go into more detail, I'd like to present to you today's schedule. First, we'll start off with the welcome speech from Professor Dr. Worsak Kanok-Nukulchai, followed by an overview of BAScii. After that, Dr. Pietro Bosano will come up and talk to you about semester abroad as well as internship opportunities here at BAScii. Then we'll have a session with Mr. Pashakiti Tikhagun on the admission process as well as the portfolio guidelines, after which we'll have a short 15-minute break.
After we come back from the break, we'll be back here in the auditorium with the BAScii SC students, which they will guide us through about BAScii's facilities. Moreover, we will also have student experience and the exchange live panel from BAScii student as well. At the end, we would also have the Q&A session.
Now, without further ado, let us invite Professor Dr. Worsak Kanok-Nukulchai onto the stage. Please give him a warm welcome.
Hello. Hello. Okay. Good afternoon. It's our pleasure to welcome our potential students and perhaps also parents who join the student coming here. Well, I would like to officially welcome you and look forward for you to consider our program. And since time is very short, I'm going to make some kind of big picture of our school so that you understand, in case you are admitted to this school, what can you expect your student life, how hard you have to work here, what would be your friends, and whether you are going to go out to some other country sometimes, or you work with some company as internship. So all this will be presented today. First of all, you may wonder, why suddenly the Chulalongkorn universities, as one of the biggest and most prestigious university, need to set up a new school of integrated innovations, which offer a bachelor degree program in art and science in integrated innovation that you all know, BAScii, right? And there are very good reasons why they need this school. Today, every sector have changed, technology change, business sector change, environment change, lifestyle change, right? Imagine 10 years ago, I don't know, but you are still very young, you don't see, at that time there's no iPhone, right? People still read newspaper, but this is only 10 years. Not many people read newspaper anymore. Okay. Now, about the change, there's what they call mega trends, something that is going to happen to the world, and everybody will be affected by this change. There are two types of change. One is Okay, the first kind of change is called global. The reason is that we humans were not very careful, and throughout, something that we never know will happen, and we know exactly what is coming. The second one, we know that it's coming, but we don't know what is going to happen. Okay, we cannot even forecast or imagine. And I'm going to tell you the first one. The population boom is one of them. I think you imagine long time back, many, perhaps 1,000 million years, 2050. Urbanizations, only 3% of the world population live in cities. Okay? But today, 50%, half of the population of the world are living in big cities like Bangkok. Climate change, you see, this is going to happen. The world is going to be warmer and warmer. So how can we solve this problem? The resources, global resources will be depleted, will be used up, Then the inequality of wealth, they said 1% of the people own 90%, let's say 50% of the household wealth of the world. Then the aging society, just this year, by definitions, Thailand is going to reach completely what they call aged societies. We used to be aging society when people above 65 years old is more than 7%. And if people older than 65 years old, over than 14%, it's called aged society. Just this year, Thai populations has more than 14% of people older than 65 years old. So we have to use technology to solve this problem. This is the concern of everyone who are global citizens, not just any particular persons, but all of us have to work together. And this is one of the concerns of our school. Next, this change concerns the disruptive technologies, the explosion of new technologies in this world make our lifestyle change almost everything. And we cannot imagine what is coming. So it's called exponential growth. I think you know what is exponential, right? So in the long past, we are living in the agricultural revolution, and then become industrial revolutions, digital revolutions. During those days, change is still there. Change was there, but it went very slow. We talk about technological disruption. At that time also, there were disruptions, but you don't feel it because the change go over from generation to generations, okay? So you can see the curve is rather flat. You see these people? You see this guy? When he looked ahead, he thought this is the path that he is going to encounter. But in fact, the path will stop from here and then going up very fast. And this is the AI revolutions, start to come now. So it's not possible at all for us from here to imagine what will be there. Many jobs may have gone forever. New job may come. People may not have jobs. All these are big concerns of people like you, because for your age, you have many, many more years to live. People will live more than 100 years. I'm sure in your generations, most of you will live over 100 years. You will work until the age of 80. So you still have another 60 years to work. And imagine another 50 years, how things would change, So you need to prepare from now. That is the point. So this is a very famous future forecast. They call it, his name is Dr. Ray Kurzweil. Ray Kurzweil. So he forecasts many things. He predicts many things that is going to come. And he concludes that, people always look in a what they call linear path, straight line. If you see something straight line, you know exactly where you would go, right? You can select. But thing is that you don't come here, you go up here. And that's why it's not possible to predict anymore. He compared the advance of the power of computers, the processing the time, processing power of computers. And it was found that just 4 or 5 years ago, the computing power, the processing power of computer is already more than the brain of a mouse. But in the next 2 years, another 3 years, the processing power of the computer will be more than that of human. So that means the robot will be as intelligent as human. If the term intelligent means processing power. But then in 2055, he predicted that the processing power of computer will be more than all the intelligence of population on Earth combined, which is hard to imagine. Today we are living in what we call VUCA world. VUCA comes from volatility, something that changes very fast. Uncertainties, you don't know what is coming. Complexities, they're so complex that you cannot solve. And also ambiguity, something not very clear cut. So there's a risk of selecting one, not another. So this is the today world, they call VUCA. But today, what we see is only 10%. This is the iceberg. Another 90% is still coming up, is still hidden, okay? So the chain that has up to now is only about 10%, and then the 90% is coming up very soon. Now we can look at this big ocean cruise. It's very difficult for this big ship to change course, and it's no different. Most of the university is like a big ship, Higher education was set up in 19th century to serve the industries, to produce human or labor or workers to serve the industries. But today, it's totally different, right? And but in the classroom, in the lecture room, it's still the same. It doesn't change much. Education sector is the last one to change. So why do we need to change? Education needs to change because the University was set up to serve industry, but today we are educating you, not necessarily for the job when you graduate, but for your whole life, another 60, 80 years. Okay, we are preparing you for the remaining part of your life, rather than preparing you just for the job, and perhaps you work for 6, 7 years and you change job, and then whatever you learn will not be meaningful anymore. When I was a student here in Chula, that was a long time back, my professor told me, you need to memorize, you need to remember, you need to accumulate all the knowledge, because the knowledge that you earn, that you learn during these 4 years will be useful for the rest of your life or your career. This is not true anymore. After 3, 4 years, knowledge will become obsolete. Okay, so it's not useful just to memorize all the knowledge. Then what would you do? Can you forecast what you would be in the next 30 years so that you will prepare your job from now so that you can work until another 30, 40 years? It's almost impossible because we cannot predict this exponential growth. So that comes to my very original point, why Chula need to set up our school. Chula is like a big ocean cruise. It has a lot of momentum to move, but to change course, it takes a long time. Okay? And it's not in time for the current change of the world. So they set up this school as what they call speedboat. The speedboat normally has the agility and the speed to face the change of the world. So this is the speedboat. So when they found this school, the Chula Council has mandate that this school has to be very different from other faculty. First, our curriculum must be very unique. Secondly, we must be fully international. And third, we must be financially sustainable. That means we should not depend on the budget from the nation or from Chula. If we are good enough, we have to be independent. So these are the 3 mandates that we receive when we set up the school. By that 3 requirements, they allow us to operate as a sandbox. That means we can operate outside the box of Chula. That means we don't need to follow everything that is rather bureaucratic. We make decisions very fast. We are ready to experiment. If something is wrong, we adapt and we change, you know. So in today's world, you don't spend a lot of time preparing business plan. You know, in this school, we only use 6 months to start. Because if you are preparing a 5-year, 6-year business plan, the world have changed by that time. So this is our building. By the way, we have to rent this building, the space, because it's a one mandate that we must be financially independent. So everything that we are doing, we are independent. Now, about our curriculum, the idea is that we don't have any constraint. We almost design the curriculum from scratch, from zero. we imagine what would be the best way to train our students during these 4 years so that you will be able to be ready for the world in the next 50, 60 years. You see, we are not just think about short term, we think about long term. And as I said, knowledge is available just one click, right? It's no different from song. When you want to listen to song, in the past maybe we need to collect CD and so on and so forth. But here you just click YouTube and you can listen to the song just in time of need, on demand. The same thing as knowledge. Whenever you want to search for some knowledge, you can do it right away. But there's one exception. You must have some background to digest. You must have some skill, some fundamental knowledge in order to digest what you are going to learn. You know, you don't expect a farmer to be able to learn by themselves. Oh, I have to go quick. So these are the requirements that we see, the need of our students. We call universal basic competence. These are the minimum that you need as a human to survive in this world. The first is the basic knowledge. Second, the 21st century skills. Third, global culture and future literatures. Our curriculum were designed based on these three. I think I need more than 5 minutes. It's okay. So what about the knowledge? We cannot teach you everything. We teach you only the fundamental so that you can learn by yourself afterwards. So there's a science, technologies, engineering, mathematics, arts, business, and social science. Those in the brackets are the emphasis, the focus. So these are given to you in the coursework. Okay, some are core subjects, some are elective. Next, 21st century skills like collaborations, communication, computer fluency, creativity, critical thinking, cross-cultural management. This cannot be taught in a single course. Students will gradually be equipped with all these skills, but through the project-based learning. In our school, you have to do a lot of projects. Almost every course, you have projects. And also, to build innovation, you also have a kind of 4-year projects. And at the end, you have the capstone projects. Through the project, you can ask questions, you have to work with your friend, you have to communicate, you have to have critical thinking. So all this, you automatically, gradually learn. And what about the global cultures? In this school, the world is our laboratory. You don't only study from the textbook in the classroom. You have many chances to go to the company, industries, go overseas for 1 semester abroad, So the world is our laboratory. We want you to be able to converse and collaborate with any global citizens anywhere around the world. Even you are not in finance, we expect you to be financial literate, financial literate, as I said. And then you don't need to study information technologies, but throughout the program here, you will know how to handle information. So digital literacy is another one. And even geopolitics, you know. We want you to be able to discuss with friends with different backgrounds about why the world is so complicated, why Russia, Ukraine have this war, and so on and so forth. Okay? You have to be world citizens. You are not just confined to a textbook in your classroom. So we create this program called BAScii, Bachelor of Art and Science in Integrated Innovation Program. These are the 5 hallmarks of our school. First, we break away from a silo system. I will go into detail afterwards. Then we focus on 2 core areas that we see is very important for you in the long run. One is technology, the second one is entrepreneurship. Okay, so all of you must be very good in these 2 areas. Third, we operate our educations using project-based learning. Say, my time is up, but I need more. Fourth, international environment. And then the last one, open platform. Okay, I have to go one by one here. We break away from a silo system because we don't focus on one single area. You know, we want to integrate them. In the past, many problems occurs when one is educated in one area. In the real world, there's nothing single discipline. They are interdisciplinary. This is more or less the big picture of our curriculum. You know, we start with the 21st century skills. Then these are the 2 areas that everyone have to be good at. And there are a number of elective courses. And then everyone will have to take 1 semester abroad. This is compulsory. Everybody have to go out to our partner university overseas at least 1 semester. And in the summertime, you will have time to take internship, working with some big companies. That is also our partner. And after that, when you come back, you need to select a project for your capstone. And it could be in focusing in health and well-being, or sustainable development, or else smart city, inclusive communities, and digital AI and robotics. Okay, your project will be focused in one of these areas, which will be very important. We want our institute, want our school to be fully international. And this is our plan. 70% of our faculty will be recruited from overseas. Okay, today we already reached this number. And our students, 30% of the seat will be provided for foreign students. Today we have about 10% only because of the pandemic. And it's very important to compete for talent, to bring talent to Thailand. You know, as you see, many countries are competing for talents. So we have a program called Gifted Scholars. Every year we will bring 4 young rising star faculty from overseas. These are people who are just complete their doctorate degree. The knowledge is still very fresh, or they just start working. So they will come here for 3 years. So this is how we attract talent from the world. And we also have scholarship for foreign students who would like to join you, so that the society will be more diverse. These skills will be equipped to you from project-based learning. By working as a team, you'll be able to communicate, have some critical thinking, creativity, computing literacies, cross cultures, and collaborations. Okay, all the 6 C will be there after you've been working as a team in a project for 4 years. We require that everybody will have to do projects at the end, and this could become a startup project if you focus on innovations. Innovation could be for economic gain. That means you can even register a startup company when you are starting here, or else you could build kind of startup for social issues, like trying to use technology to solve world problem, climate change, poverty, urbanization, and so on and so forth. And we invite many people from the industry. They are all experts. They are all successful people in the startup. They come here and serve as a mentor to you, to help you. These are some of the startup projects that our students have been doing. Say the one on the top right is already in the market. They have registered a company and they already earn some investors trust. They give them some investment money so they would be able to start a startup project. We expect all you to be able to do this. There's some others too, right? So up to now, our students, through the competition, pitching, and so on and so forth, they are able to earn the 5 million baht investment, 2 million baht of awards, 6 million baht of grants. So from day after day, our students go out and pitching the ideas. They are able to learn many things. They fail and they be able to regain the confidence. So we want our students to fail during the studies, because through the failures, you'll be able to stand up again, and eventually you'll be successful. The world is our living laboratory. We consider ourselves to be open platform, so that the university, industry, and government can work together. So that means you'll be able to learn what we call the global culture, right? Okay, these are some of the advantages. All this will benefit our students. We have many partners. Later on, Dr. Pietro will come and explain to you. Some of these partners will take you for study abroad, 1 semester, and some will take you for internship. We also invite many adjunct professors from overseas or those who are experts in the field to come in and teach. Now I'll show you some clip so you see you have some idea how students studies. Can you hit the... Okay.
การสอนให้เยาวชนเข้าถึงเรื่องความยุติธรรมเนี่ยใช้ความต้องการของมนุษย์เป็นจุดเริ่มต้นเนี่ยครับมาทำสื่อการสอนหรือทำคริคูลัมของเราให้เด็กเข้าถึงปัญหาได้ง่ายขึ้นเพราะปัญหาทางความยุติธรรมบางครั้งเนี่ย มันจะเป็นปัญหาที่ใหญ่เป็น systemic ปัญหาระดับระบบเราอาจจะเข้าถึงได้ยากและไม่เห็นภาพได้ชัดเจนเราก็เลยนำข้อมูลได้นำเครื่องมือของ Design Thinking เนี่ยมาให้นักเรียนเขาได้เข้าถึงปัญหาโดยการเข้าลงไปสัมภาษณ์ลงพื้นที่ได้เจอปัญหากับเขาโดยตรงนะครับเขาก็เลยจะได้มีโอกาสที่จะได้เห็นอาจจะเรียกว่า first hand experience ก็ได้ครับว่าจริงๆแล้วเวลาเขาทำธุรกิจอะไรบางอย่างเขาจะต้องไปชนกับความยุติธรรมตรงไหนบ้างและถ้าสมมติเขาเจอจุดนั้นในอนาคตเขาจะต้องทำยังไงได้บ้างครับ
ความยุติธรรมเนี่ยมักจะเริ่มต้นที่ศาลตำรวจอัยการแล้วก็อาจจะไม่ค่อยเกี่ยวกับเขาเท่าไหร่แต่จริงๆแล้วในคลาสเนี่ยสิ่งที่เราต้องการมากๆเลยเนี่ยคือเราอยากจะเขาเรียกว่าเอาเรื่องของความยุติธรรมเนี่ยกลับมาให้มันใกล้ตัวกับคนธรรมดามากขึ้นนะคะถ้าคุณจะเป็นอินโนเวเตอร์ที่ดีทำให้เกิด Impact ในสังคมคุณต้องเข้าใจสังคมแล้วคุณต้องเข้าใจด้วยว่ามุมหนึ่งของสังคมที่มีคนเข้าไม่ถึงความยุติธรรมเนี่ยมุมนั้นหน้าตาเป็นยังไงเราก็เลยคิดว่าคลาส Rethinking Justice เนี่ยก็จะช่วยให้น้องๆBASciiเข้าใจว่าตัวเองมีบทบาทยังไงผ่านการทำความเข้าใจกลุ่มคนที่เขาประสบปัญหาเรื่องของความยุติธรรมค่ะแล้วเราก็มองว่าจากการที่เขาได้เข้าไปเข้าใจบุคคลเนี่ยเขาจะเริ่มเห็นแล้วว่าบทบาทของเขาเองไม่ว่าจะเป็นในฐานะนักเรียนคนหนึ่งเพื่อนคนหนึ่งลูกคนหนึ่งหรือว่าประชาชนคนหนึ่งในสังคมทำอะไรได้บ้าง
พอเราเรียนเรื่องความยุติธรรมเราจะเข้าใจคอนเซปต์ว่าอันไหนคือคอร์รัปชันอันไหนคือยังไงอะไรแบบนี้เราจะเข้าใจปัญหามากขึ้นว่าโอเคอันนี้เกิดจากอะไรซึ่งแท้จริงแล้วปัญหามันอาจจะไม่ได้เกิดมาจากอย่างใดอย่างหนึ่งอย่างเช่นสมมุติเราพูดถึงการว่าโอเคแบบโรงเรียนสร้างเด็กที่แบบโกงเด็กขี้โกงอย่างเงี้ยทำไมเด็กถึงต้องโกงปัญหาจริงอาจจะไม่ได้อยู่ที่ตัวเด็กอาจจะอยู่ที่ระบบการศึกษาอะไร
ครั้งสมมุติเรามีได้ทำ exhibition นะครับเวลาได้สอนเสร็จแล้วครบ15 อาทิตย์เราจะได้ให้นักเรียนมาพรีเซนต์ว่าเขาเจออะไรมาบ้างเขาได้เจอเรื่องราวอะไรมาบ้างและเขามีไอเดียที่จะแก้ปัญหาที่เขาเจอมาได้ยังไงที่เราเน้นอย่างมากที่สุดเลยคืออยากจะให้เขาเข้าใจว่าปัญหาทางสังคมหรือปัญหาความยุติธรรมทางสังคมเนี่ยเป็นยังไงบ้างหน้าตาเป็นยังไงไม่ใช่แค่คำจำกัดความกว้างๆอย่างหนึ่งฉะนั้นเวลาเราไปคุยกับนักเรียนเนี่ยเราก็จะได้เห็นว่าเราก็จะถามเขาเสมอว่าแล้วคุณได้เรียนรู้อะไรมาบ้างเพราะว่าที่สำคัญที่สุดคืออาจจะไม่ใช่สิ่งที่โซลูชันที่เขาออกมาหรือแอปหรือโปรโตไทป์หรืออะไรนี้แต่ว่าจริงๆแล้วคือการเปลี่ยน mindset ของเขา
job. Okay. There are many questions concerning what would you be after you graduate from here, or your futures. There might be many jobs that is not here today and it's coming up in the futures. For example, you could be what they call technology innovator or innovation entrepreneurs, social transformers. Otherwise, you can go on with your master degrees, with your basic background and your knowledge in the innovations, the process. I think many faculty would like to admit you for master degrees. And this is very important. We educate you, not for you to seek job, but we expect you to create job. Most of you will become entrepreneurs. And we would like you to be well-rounded, to be able to think yourself, to be able to ask the right question, to be a good global citizens, okay? It's not just for you to graduate and get a job. That is not the only objective. This school plan to be your partner for the rest of your life. I'll show you another clip which show how our students spend time in our partner universities overseas. So, okay.
Hi, my name is Pietro Songsang. I'm a startup semester student here at ScII from Chulalongkorn University in Thailand. This semester at Berkeley has been a great opportunity for me to immerse myself in the diverse cultures and startup ecosystem. I get to see the natural living landscapes, and I get to meet and connect with people from all around the world.
Hello, my name is Mil. I am a startup semester student at ScII from Chulalongkorn University, Thailand. This semester is an amazing opportunity for me because you get a chance to meet an amazing and bright people, and you're also surrounded by a startup culture.
Hello, my name is Sudey Bhatia, and I'm a startup semester student from the
My main motivation in coming to Berkeley was to challenge myself and study at an institution with a strong entrepreneurial foundation in order to improve my skills in a competitive business environment.
My main motivation was to getting out of my comfort zone, challenge myself to the new opportunity, and make a lifelong connection with a new friend.
My main motivation to come to the startup semester program at SCIT was because I feel like my passion and background in entrepreneurship and innovation is aligned with the core values and teachings at SCIT. As an aspiring future entrepreneur myself, I would be able to be part of Berkeley's amazing entrepreneurial culture and learn from the expertise from Silicon Valley entrepreneurs on the key mindsets and traits to be a good innovator.
My motivation to this program because I want to explore new opportunities, and also I want to surround myself with people who are passionate about startups.
Right now, I'm currently working on a sustainable startup project called BioCafe, in which our aim and mission is to create value from upcycling spent coffee grounds, turn it into self-care products to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and positively impact climate change.
So Pump is the startup project that I'm currently working on right now. It is a digital marketing that helps the small business to grow with the lowest of marketing costs.
So I co-founded a biotech startup called BioCafe, which is a Thailand-based startup. And in our startup, we upcycle spent coffee grounds that we collect from local cafes and instant coffee manufacturers and create self-care products through them. So our startup promotes the culture of upcycling and aims to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions produced by the disposal of coffee grounds.
My friends and I in Thailand are working on a project called New Tech, which is the use of EEG technology, brain monitoring technology to detect and diagnose the patients with major depressive depression.
So one major problem I like to solve is to generate cheaper power for everyone. Renewable energy is continuously in high demand, so it makes more sense for emerging countries to go for it instead of establishing expensive infrastructure to support fossil fuels. Not only is it less expensive to
Concerned about, it is a major contributor to the world problem, and I think I wish to make a startup that lower the food.
So I aim that one day I can contribute to healthcare technology and be able to make sure that there's a cure for every diseases, cancer, and other major health problems that people face around the world. So that's my hope for the future.
If I can use technology to solve one major problem of the world, I would use it.
Okay, I think that will be the end of my presentations. And here, you work, you learn, and be happy. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Worsak Kanok-Nukulchai, for a very informative session. Now, I'd like to invite Dr. Pietro Bosano to come up and talk about the semester abroad as well as internship opportunities here at BAScii. Please give him a warm welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the school. I promise I'll be short and sweet and just give you some heads up on our semester abroad internship opportunities. So just to add on what Professor Worsak mentioned earlier, so our school is a new school in Chulalongkorn University, and one of the key features of the school is the ecosystem. So we have an industry ecosystem and an academic ecosystem, and this is to help our students find internships, do projects with industry during their studies at the school, as well as later on for their graduation. And of course, exchange. So you have seen already a video of one of our exchange programs with Berkeley, but this is not the only exchange. So these are the corporates we are collaborating with. So all of these are official partners of the university. For the students who come from Thailand, I'm sure you are probably familiar with some of these names because are some of the largest Thai conglomerates, all of them steering digital transformation, for example, Thai Bev or Siam Piwat, Bampu, PTT, and so on. So an example of what we do with our partners is internships. So generally our students will take summer internships. Here you can see around 10 of our students who joined summer internship program with Siam Piwat in June and July 2022. We have also other internship, for example, with Thai Bev, with BitCub, and so on. So this is a way to execute, to deliver on our mission to provide students with hands-on, real-life education. And this is a snapshot of our academic ecosystem. I think that probably the next slide would help you see our global outreach. So we have partners in the United States, primarily in the Silicon Valley through Berkeley, with the State University of New York, with which we are cooperating for a design thinking and entrepreneurship development program. We have also quite a few partners in Singapore, including the National University of Singapore. We have partners in Europe. We have partners in China and Greater China, for example, Hong Kong Baptist University, and in Japan as well. So the way we select our partners is based on their ranking. So many of our partners are among the top 100 universities. Based on QS ranking, other partners are among the top 200 worldwide. So this is one criterion. The other criterion is to find like-minded partners, universities that foster innovation, entrepreneurship, transdisciplinary approach, same as our school. This is a very recent picture taken 2 days ago during our trip to Japan. We visited one of our partner university, and you can see us with 2 of our final year students that are currently taking an exchange with Kyushu University, the School of Interdisciplinary Sciences, which is a school under Kyushu University, very similar to our school, focused on social innovations. Okay, let me get a little bit deeper into the exchange opportunities. So here I will only mention 3 of them. In the way I selected these 3 exchange is because these are exchange in the most innovative district worldwide. So the first one is with the University of California, Berkeley, which is, as you surely know, located in the Silicon Valley. So this partnership gives us the opportunity to have access to the ecosystem of the Silicon Valley. So we're not just talking about teaching, the teaching methodologies of the Silicon Valley, but also investors, mentors that can advise, guide, and potentially also invest in the student projects. The second one is the National University of Singapore, specifically NOC, which is the overseas college under the University of Singapore. This is, again, a heavily entrepreneurial exchange where students are taking internship in technology startups in Singapore. Most of these startups are located in Block 71. If you have been recently to Singapore, you will find this area of Singapore where all where technology startups are located. And this is under the National University of Singapore. And the third one is Hong Kong Baptist University, Hong Kong with Shenzhen area, the Pearl River Delta area is what we label as the Silicon Valley of China. Most of innovative firms of China are headquartered in this area. So this is the third exchange which provides our students a full immersion in an innovation ecosystem. So let me just go through some slides here. This is the number of seats for our exchange with Berkeley and then US. So roughly 50% of each batch of our students will have the opportunity to go on exchange either to Berkeley or to NUS annually. So these are just some more information about the Silicon Valley. With Berkeley, we have two landmark programs. One is the exchange, which I already mentioned. The other one is the bootcamp. The bootcamp is a short-term experience in the Silicon Valley, 1 week, very intensive. Students will travel to the Silicon Valley, join with other students from other nationalities, and create their own startup. So it's a startup ideation program for 1 week. This happens every August and every January. So this is an additional opportunity for our students to have a glimpse on Silicon Valley ecosystem and teaching methodologies. Let me skip the bureaucratic information. Anyway, you will learn this when you need to go on exchange. These are some of the testimonials, but we have already seen the video from Professor Worsak's presentation. This is Singapore. Singapore was ranked as #1 innovation city in all Asia Pacific, and a big chunk of this innovation comes from the National University of Singapore.
Take a good look. Know who they are? They are disruptors, pioneers of new industries, makers of the future, trailblazers and thought leaders. They change the way we shop, give care, create value, and experience the world.
We are entrepreneurs
and change makers.
We turn ideas into startups
and challenges into opportunities.
You too can make the world a better place.
Through NUS Overseas Colleges.
Bagus.
So you probably recognize some of the companies like Carousel, which was one of the very first unicorns in Southeast Asia and was nurtured under NUS Enterprise. Let me skip this. And the third and final one is the exchange in Hong Kong and the Greater Bay Area, GBA. So you need to think of Hong Kong as an access to a greater interconnected area, including also Shenzhen and Guangdong area in the mainland of China. Okay, so these are just some more data about the Greater Bay Area and Hong Kong innovation ecosystem. So what we are looking forward to is to see more Thai startups being part of the ecosystem in Hong Kong as well. Okay, that's all for my presentation. Time is up. So I really look forward to seeing you all in our faculty next academic year. Thank you for your time and for listening.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pietro Bosano, for such useful information for our students to use. Listening to that, I think many of the students already have a rough plan in mind where they would like to take their internship and also where they would like to study abroad. Talking about studying abroad, Pikatun, where would you like to go?
For me, I think I'm really interested in the UC Berkeley and the NUS semester abroad because I feel like it would give me a very good opportunity for the future. But what about you?
Well, for me, I think it would be around Europe because I would like to go traveling as well. Work and travel is my slogan. So yeah, it would be great to go explore there and see their innovation that is very different from Thailand. All right, let's not waste our time any longer. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Phumjai Nakhasakun, our faculty member, to talk about artificial intelligence, a global trend we would not like to miss. Please give him a warm welcome.
ครับ สวัสดีคุณพ่อคุณแม่ and welcome น้องๆ My name is Phumjai Nakhasakun. I look after the Applied Digital Intelligence track of the BAScii program. Now, when it comes to artificial intelligence and really the future of where the technology space is, it's going to be very encompassing. So it's not an individual area, you know, like say biomedical advancement or quantum computing or maybe even blockchain and Bitcoin. AI is one of those areas where it's going to be pervasive. It's going to be everywhere. Now, instead of me giving you a talk about what AI is, which is I don't think it's the time and place for that, I would like to sort of give you a background, a little bit of how the BAScii program has designed the applied digital intelligence around the concept of AI and modern technology. First of all, let me ask you a question. Obviously, AI stands for artificial intelligence, right? But how many of you have reflected on the fact that we actually have very different conception of what it means to be intelligent, right? I'll give you a classical answer. When artificial intelligence emerged as a separate academic discipline post-war, you know, in the 50s, the word intelligence at that time only meant one thing: human-like. In other words, we equate ourselves as intelligent being. So artificial intelligence means, can we create an artificial program that in a way mimics human behavior? And some of you may know of the very historical figure of Alan Turing. He devised what's called a Turing test, which means that if you can carry on a dialogue, you know, back then it was through a piece of paper, with a hidden program in the other room, and you can't tell if the other room is actually a computer or a human being, then that computer actually has passed what's called Turing test. Now that's called AI test. It's a test of intelligence, but if you think about it, you can actually have an intelligent or stupid conversation. You can be talking to a computer that mimics somebody very stupid on the other side. So the meaning of intelligence when it first came out was really about human-like, you know, and this is where you have things like chatbot, Siri, and so forth. So as long as you are comfortable with the interface, the other side is giving you a human-like response, you know, carrying on a conversation, that's considered intelligence. Now, the BAScii program is more than that. When the Applied Digital Intelligence track is formulated, the meaning of intelligence actually takes on two additional dimensions. Okay? One dimension is sort of like informational intelligence. Okay? That would be, some of you may be familiar with a lot of software that performs what's called business intelligence. And what that's about is to define intelligence not as human-like, but in terms of information that are difficult to come by. So this is really the meaning of intelligence that came after the word military intelligence, right? So you want to know about your enemies. Where's your enemy movement? Where are they? How strong are they? Are they well prepared? Do they have the right ammunition? What's their logistic and so forth? Now, business intelligence, you don't study the enemy, but you try to study your client, your employee, your competitor, the regulatory environment. So it's about extracting very difficult or insightful intelligence from your environment. Finally, the way applied digital intelligence in BAScii is framed around this concept of intelligence takes on the meaning of intelligence as a better solution. In other words, if you think about planning, you can plan in routing, in operations research, like logistics. So intelligence here doesn't mean human-like. Intelligence here doesn't mean sensitive, insightful information. Intelligence means optimization, better solution. And so in that case, you don't really need this. This is a little bit detailed. But that's the intelligence framework around which BAScii frames the applied digital intelligence. Now, what I like to say is that applied digital intelligence is one of the 4 areas of concentration within BAScii. But it doesn't mean that you have to study applied digital intelligence to learn about this data science, data analytics, machine learning. You can actually learn this from the framework of sustainable development, health well-being, smart and inclusive city. So you can think of the 3 other concentration as sort of like application area, whereas applied digital intelligence is more like the tools. So the problem areas, the 3 problem areas, and the technology to solve the problem. And it doesn't mean that, so you can be focused on the technology to solve the problem, then apply yourself to the problem area, or you can think of yourself as focusing on the problem area, like sustainability, healthcare, and so forth, and then bring in, AI tools to solve that. Finally, before I go, I think a lot of parents are here. Some of you are actually concerned, all this futurist idea about the education and new model, speedboat and all that. Are my kids going to be well employed? Are kids going to get job when they get to 4 years? And let me just share with you a short story. Well, not a story. It's my own personal experience. I only became full-time academics in the last two years. Before that, I was a professional banker. And I was FSVP of Quantitative Models and Enterprise Analytics at one of Thailand's major banks. We were building up a team of data science. And I kind of recruited 2 types of recruits. Part of them, so a group of recruits, came with established data science training, knows how to program in Python and all this and all that. These guys are very good. And I can use them almost on day 1. But what I noticed is that their skills pretty much peaked in the first 6 months. That's about it. So they are very good technicians. They can do data science, they can build neural network model, they can do propensity model very quickly. But when I give them a more challenging problem to solve, they metaphorically freeze. Okay? So these are the technicians, the well-prepared. So when you're talking about preparing your child, your son and daughter to the job market, a lot of you are thinking, what's the hot topic? What's hot in the job market? Well, data science is a hot topic, hot market. So why don't we train our kids in data science? And those will be that population that I recruited. Okay? On the other hand, I also recruited a few who actually didn't know how to program very well, didn't even know how to do Python, doesn't know how, database and whatnot, but came from a scientific, like a liberal arts education, scientific understanding of relationship. So basically applied math kind of recruits. So these people were completely useless on day one. And in fact, they remained useless to me for a good 6 months. But then they picked up all these necessary skills like programming, like interfacing with data and so forth. But these are the people who have real potential. They keep going, they keep growing and growing and growing. I can switch them onto a more complex problem. So you have to ask yourself, do you want your child, your sons and daughter, to be trained for specific skill that in 2022 is the hottest area in the job market? Hopefully, by the time they graduate in 2026, they'll be employed. Or do you want them to actually have a more fundamental, the design thinking, the mathematical reasoning, the scientific discipline, the mental discipline to enable them to adapt to the problem and, as Professor Worsak said, create job rather than performs it. Okay? And I think that's good balance. I mean, we don't want our graduate to, go there and be useless for 6 months. That's, a lot of employers are not that patient. I wasn't. I was quite patient because I knew what these kids were ultimately capable of. But most employers are not that patient. So yes, we will have to equip them with ready-to-use skill on day one. But you have to realize that is not the thrust of BAScii. The thrust of the BAScii is not a technical training school. Okay? It's not a school where you learn how to do, TensorFlow library with Python and so forth, and you can do that, I guess, from learning on YouTube, if you like. Okay? We want the students to have the fundamental thinking capability and lifelong learning, and that's what we mean by evergreen education. And I hope that we have that message across. And anyway, I'll be around for the Q&A if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you again, Dr. Nukulchai, for coming and sharing this session with us. And if you want to know more about artificial intelligence, I hope you picked BAScii as our faculty, and I hope we become part of the same family together. Okay, to not waste our time any longer, next, I would like to invite Mr. Prasha Kittikakun, the academic officer of BAScii, to come up on stage and present to you about the admission process and also the portfolio guidelines. I hope you all listen carefully, and please give him a warm welcome.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. I am P. Bernie. On behalf of the Academic Affairs team, I'll be giving you information regarding our admission process and the portfolio guideline. Okay, so first thing first, the most important information regarding our admission concerning, let's say, application links, important dates, and all the announcements can be found on our website at scii.jula.ac.th. So when you get up to our website, please look at the top, click on admission, and then academic year 2023. Basically, all the important information have already been posted there, including our announcements. And the application link for our early admission Thai round will be live from tomorrow onwards, okay? And I promise you that it's going to be easy to navigate, easy to fill, but there are a few important things that I would like to share to you. So the first thing is that when you get up to our application menu, there will be options for you to select which application round you would like to apply to. This is very important, so please select the round that is applicable to you only. And when you fill out your information, please click save on every session that you completed, okay? And for those who are Thai, but you have dual citizenships, please select or please fill in your other nationality first, followed by Thai nationality as your second nationality, okay? And the third thing is that our application will be closed just before midnight on the last day of application. But we strongly recommend that if you're doing it on the last day, please make sure that you make your payment and complete all the information by 10 p.m. at the latest, because on the last day of application, the traffic will be quite busy, and sometimes it will affect your uploading your application, okay? Okay, so for the 2023 admission, there will be a total of 4 different rounds. 2 rounds for Thai applicants and 2 rounds for international applicants with foreign citizenships. So the upcoming early admission round for Thai applicants will be from the 25th of November, or basically tomorrow until the 22nd of December 2022. And for international applicants, the early international admission round will be from the 21st of December until the 6th of February. And the other 2 rounds, the schedule can be found on our website, or as you can see on the screen, okay? Okay, and in order to be eligible and qualified for our application, you will need to have completed high school in the final year of high school, or have passed the high school standard test, okay? Or let's say, for example, GED. And as you can see on the screens, these are the standardized tests that we accept for our math and English proficiency test scores. Now, the criteria or the tests that we accept will be a bit different for international applicants, so we strongly advise that you check for the announcement carefully before submitting your applications, okay? Okay, and just to give you some insights of the average scores for the previous years, okay? As you can see on the screen, the mathematics average scores for SAT last year is 739, and 7 for IELTS for English, and 561 for SAT English, okay? These are the average scores that have been submitted for our BAScii program in 2022 intake. Okay, and moving on to the admission criteria. So there are 3 main important things that you have to know regarding our criteria. So the first one is that only qualified and eligible applicants will be evaluated based on their e-portfolio, mathematics, and English test scores, okay? Secondly, only shortlisted candidates will be contacted to come in for our aptitude test and interview. So let's say after submitting your application, please check your email often because we will contact you through email as well, all right? And final is that the final selection of successful candidates will be based on these 4 components according to the percentage that is given on the screen, okay? So we will select the best performers regarding these 4 areas to be our BAScii students. Okay, and next is our aptitude test and interview. So for this year, 2023 intake, the default option for interview will be on-site, but please do not worry if somehow you are unable to travel to our campus during the day of the interview. Please contact our ScII admin to arrange for online interview instead, okay? Now, there will be different dates concerning our interview. So basically, I'll start with the early admission for Thai applicants. The list of eligible candidates will be announced on January 10th, okay? And the interview could be on either 13, 14, 15, or the 16th. It will only be just one day, and The finalized date will be announced together with the list of eligible applicants. All right, and the list of successful candidates will be announced on the 20th of January for Thai applicants. On the other hand, for international applicants, the list of eligible candidates will be announced no later than the 13th of February, and the interview could either be 18 or 19 or the 20th of February. Okay, and the list of successful candidates will be announced on the 24th of February 2023. Now, both rounds or all applicants will have the same amount of time for the interview, which will be approximately 15 minutes. Okay? All right, so next I will move on to our e-portfolio. Now, just so that everyone can properly prepare for their portfolio, we have created a template for you to follow, and every applicant will have to follow this template, okay? Now, the template has already been uploaded onto our website, so please make sure that you go check and download the one that is applicable to you. And I just wanted to remind you that the template is only for you to prepare what to be included, okay? When you actually submitting your application, you will need to fill it in online again. Okay, so the first page will look something just like this. So basically, basic information regarding your education background and so forth. And then moving on, this will be the scores that you will have to submit. Now, as you can see, we will no longer accept SAT Math Level 2, okay? So you cannot use this score to apply for BAScii anymore. And as you can see on the screen, different rounds will require different test scores, okay? So please make sure that you prepare accordingly. Now, you can submit more than just one test scores, okay? So let's say, for example, you took TOEFL, IELTS, and SAT for English. You could choose to submit all three as well, all right? And our system will calculate and evaluate your application accordingly. Okay, and next will be the part where you can fill in your previous experiences concerning your project experiences, the awards and competitions that you have earned, your overseas experiences. Let's say, for example, if you've been to overseas through short course program, exchange, anything at all, you can choose to put it in the portfolio, okay? But this doesn't mean that you have to fill in every section, only the sections that are applied to you, okay? All right, now moving on to this another important part. So for number 11, you will have the opportunity to come up with new innovative idea to help solve a pain point in the global society, okay? For this part, you will have total freedom to create whichever project you like and put it in this page. You can put in sketches, you can put in diagrams, descriptions, infographics. You can design however you want, okay? But please make sure that it displays your innovative and creativity. Okay, and the last one, or the last part, will be the part where you can choose to submit your photos and other documents. Let's say if you've earned certificates, you could scan and upload it here. Or if you have done any video clips or posted on YouTube, Instagram, or anything at all that is related to what we asked of you, let's say awards, competition, projects, you could also post the link here as well, and we will check it, okay? All right, and this is very important for those who will use their GED or high school qualifications that you have earned overseas, okay? So if you graduated high school outside of Thailand, or if you're planning on using GED to apply for BAScii, you will need to get an equivalency certificate, okay? So what you will need to do is get onto this website, create a profile, and then click on the menu to select certificate for BAScii program, okay? You cannot choose, so you have to choose whether you would like to get this certificate for BAScii or any program, all right? So you have to choose certificate for BAScii program only, and it will cost you 200 Thai baht per document, okay? So once again, if you're using qualification from overseas or GED, you will need to get this certificate, all right? And for those who will be using GED, there will be 2 different qualifications. So if you have your certificate before May 2017, these are the criteria that you will need to follow. But if you get it after 2017, all you need to do is get a minimum score of 145 on all 4 subjects, all right? Okay, and now almost finished here. Moving on to Thai applicants, okay? So if you are planning on using Thai citizenship to apply for BAScii admission, you will need to set up an account with TCAS before submitting your application with us, okay? So all you need to do is go to My TCAS, fill in all your personal information, and that's it. And then you move on to submit your application with BAScii. So once we have announced the list of selected candidates, let's say if you're selected, you will need to confirm your offer with us first. And then the last step would be we will announce the list of admitted candidates, and we will inform you to get on My TCAS again to confirm that you will choose BAScii as your undergraduate destination. So mainly there are 3 main steps for you to follow here, okay? But don't worry, we have already included this information on our announcements, so please make sure to check it out on our website. Okay, and regarding our program fees, every applicant will have to pay a 1,000 Thai baht application fee. This can be completed either through money transfer, money bank transfer, or credit card, okay? It's up to your choosing, but this fee will be non-refundable, okay? And the last thing to complete before confirming your seats would be to pay for 100,000 Thai baht for enrollment confirmation fee, okay? This will happen only after you confirm your enrollment on TCAS only, but this only applies to Thai applicants, okay? So if you're international students, you don't have to worry about, if you are using your foreign citizenship to apply, you do not have to worry about TCAS. All right, so just to recap, the 8 steps for applying would be to first prepare your documents, create an account with us, fill in all your personal information, upload your test scores. Okay, you could just scan a screen capture and upload it on our website. Upload your portfolio, make a payment, and upload the money transfer slip if you're using a bank transfer. Okay. All right, so if you have any questions, please feel free to contact our ScII admin team, or if you have any specific questions regarding curriculum or anything academic affairs related, please feel free to contact me through this channel, all right? So once again, thank you for joining, and good luck to everyone, and hope to see you in August this next year. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Pasha. So now that we know all these details, it gets a lot more exciting, don't you think?
Yes, ครับพี่การ์ตูน It flashes me back to the time when I was a high school student as well. I really get and understand how you might feel when you have to do your portfolio and also with the intense revision you have to do for the academic test. So we both wish you all the best of luck.
So for the next session, we'll have the BAScii Student Council come up to talk about the facilities we have here at BAScii, and that will be followed by a panel session with our students and those who have gone on the exchange program, and they will talk about their experiences. But before we do that, we'll have a short 10-minute break. If any of you need to use the toilet, you can use one up the stairs. You'll see one behind this door. And if you feel a little hungry, some snacks are provided in front of this room. So feel free to take them, and we'll see you in 10 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. All the audience, students, and parents, the session will start very soon, so please come back up to sit down and ready for the next session. The session will begin in 2 more minutes. Welcome back from the break, nakarab everyone. The next session, I have to say, it's very interesting, and the stage will be heated up so much because we'll have more participants on stage with us. As you can see, we have 2 chairs right here. Next session, we'll have BAScii Student Representative Council with us on stage to talk about BAScI's facilities. So let me introduce you to Pi Pin Pin and Pi Khong Khwan, the second-year student from BAScii on stage. Krab.
First of all, good afternoon and thank you to each and every one of you for being here with us today. We are from BAScii Student Council and it's our pleasure for us to be here to share with you all the BAScii experiences and how it's like being a BAScii student. let me introduce myself. So my name is Kho Khwan Lawasok, or you can call me Khwan in short. I'm the president of BAScii Student Council. And, oh, sorry. Excuse me. Okay, and also please allow me to introduce you to Pin Pin ka.
Hello everyone, my name is Pietroนะคะ. My full name is Kowina Chinprasit-Chai, and I am the head of multimedia and public relations for this year's ScII Student Council. And today, the two of us as the speakers, we're really happy to get the chance to talk to you about the life in BAScii. We understand that you have already heard such interesting insights about the academic related curriculum and the information. So let's get to know the glimpses of the true lives in BAScii with us.
Yeah, so because I think all of the students and parents here today may wonder how it's like, right? So,
well, of course, it's because community is the key. So first, before we get into the community and the life part, here is a little glimpse of the location and our classroom. BAScii, Bachelor's of Arts and Science in Integrated Innovation, is also known as School of Integrated Innovation. And our faculty is located in this building right here, Rachakumari 60 building, or Chamchuri 10 building for short. We're located on the 3rd and 4th floor, 2 floors, but our classrooms, in terms of our classrooms, we have to say that it's really fully practical for the uses that BAScii aims the students to have. Well, first, our faculty aims for project-based learning with group work. So of course, our classrooms is filled with spaces that is fully practical for lectures, labs, seminars, presentations, or even co-working spaces that group projects and students can collaborate with one another. And also that's for the life part. We aim to support a full working environment. And second is the life part, because in life there has to be a balance between work and life. There is a student area that is perfect for studying, for students to study, and second, to relax. So as you can see in the pictures, here's a glimpse of the 4th floor of our facility. The red BAScii stand is what really makes our faculty space stand out. And then there's also the picture in the middle on the left is our study area where students can work on their projects and study. And then there's also the picture with the ping pong table. That's our student lounge where students can get to know their faculty friends as well as relax. And there's also a big couch in the space that all friends can come in and use that facility to however they want.
So when we say we relax, we actually really relax because we can do all of the activities on the couch and also the common areas and bonding with other students.
So next, now we know the facilities and location. To better visualize what our life is like, here's a time chart, a really realistic time chart of how our life is in a day. So first, we travel to the faculty, of course, like every other day. And how we travel is there are so many ways. I live near, for my instance, I live near BAScii, and I usually travel there are 3 ways. There's the CU Pop Bus, and that is free. And then there are also the e-scooters and the bikes that is provided by Chula that students can freely use. And meanwhile, for people that live far away like Juan,
because I live a little bit far away, so I come here to the school by BTS. So I drop by at National Stadium Station and then walk through the MBK Skywalk, which link right through in the middle and drop at in front of our building. So that is pretty convenient, and it's not that far for walking, and it's kind of refreshing walking here and see people. And also some of the students also drive to school, and there's various choice of the parking that we can park nearby the school.
So as you can see, just from traveling, everything, there are so many ways possible. And it's really unique actually coming to BAScii. And second, apart from traveling, we study. And like said, project-based learning and group work. And here is a picture of one of our courses. This is actually Juan's class.
Yeah, so in the second picture, you will see there's a pod and then the regular. So in that class, it's actually the workshop in the food and drug class. So in here, we are making the strawberry jams.
So like talking about lecture in BAScii, you may wondering, and it's kind of like a little bit different from the high school system. So we actually study in only like maximum 2 lecture per day. And lecture here in BAScii mostly separate into lecture and the project-based learning. And it might seem hard to study like 3 hours in a row in a day, right?
3 hours seems like a long time. It's unlike high school. There are 7 courses here. Uni, 2 courses, 3 hours. But in BAScii, it's a full 3 hours that you will get to listen, that you will get to try, and that you will actually be able to really learn from doing, like our concept, learning by doing. And then apart from that, we freshen up, apart from studying. Oh, and to talk about the image here, like project-based learning, there are pots and pans in the class, and then the table is really set up nicely, so students can really interact with one another, and the professor can as well. And then after we freshen up ourselves a bit, some breaks, some lunch, and then usually where we go for breaks is that we are located quite near multiple cafeterias, so that's where we rely our stomach on.
Based on your budget, so you have various of choice of the lunch that you can go through. For example,
yeah, there are places that you can always seek for food, like even in malls or like nearby cafeterias like in ScII or Julapat building. Those are like Chula or the campuses that are near Chula, so that's where you can go. And apart from that, from freshening up, you have more studying, and apart from studying, that will be it for your learning day. So after that, we would have meetings. Like said, there are so many group projects. In fact, all courses have group work. So each day, of course, you will have to work in your teams and discuss, brainstorm some ideas on what you want to do. And in this picture, that's a picture of the co-working space that our building has on the 3rd floor, as well as a picture of the current student council team having an actual meeting. And then after that, we travel some more, and maybe if you join extracurricular activities like clubs, you'll be doing those after everything ends. So let's get to know our clubs in BAScii.
yeah, so life of a BAScii student doesn't end when the school finish. We also have extracurricular activities right after. For example, if you are interested in the long-term commitment as a semester, for example, you can apply for the club. And this is just the example from the club that's original, created by BAScii students and faculties. For example, we have ScII Smile Club, where we're working with the ScII Operation Smile to do the fundraising and gather money to help with the children with the disease of the mouth cliff. Or we also have CSR clubs projects such as Design for Thailand, where we apply the knowledge about design thinking, concept, and skill that we learn from class, apply it to the real world project to actually create an impact about social innovation. But if you're more like an active person, want to work on like your physical fundamental stuff, you can also join the sport club. And there's also various of choice for sport for BAScii students too. For example, you can see in the pictures, there's 2 types of sport here in BAScii. First is like the sport under the faculty that we also train and do the competition. And we have the choice from male and female. Football, basketball, volleyball, share ball, so basically all the balls thing. And also, you also have some people and some students have shared interest in some sport, for example, the golf. But here in July, we don't have golf competition, but we have a good connection and bonding. So they just go out in their free time and schedule the golf competition together. And in here, you also have the cheerleading competition and also the cheerleader clubs inside the sport clubs. And there's a lot more activities here provided by July and BAScii ourselves. For example, here you can see in the picture, if you come in as a freshman, July here is going to host the activity for you, for welcome you to the July family. And we are also going to hold some activity to welcome you to the BAScii family too. For example, the Rap Nong event and See You First Date event. And there's also the competition, such as the sport competition linked with the sport club, right? So you can join CU Open, CU Freshie Games, CU Indoor Games for the sport competition. And the competition is not just limited to the sport, and you can also performance. If you have some talented stuff here in Intergame,
Pin also participate in one part of in the game, and she can share some experience with you.
Well, maybe I can share a little bit more, but for now, to sum up about the activities, is that there are so many activities, internal within BAScii and external outside of BAScii. So you will definitely get the chance to get to know people inside of the faculty and outside of the faculty as well, so you don't have to worry about that. And apart from the activities, in case you may want to improve your skills or maybe further develop your projects, we believe that you probably already heard about the BAScii course. Some people compete in competitions to, develop their soft skills, hard skills, as well as see how their projects can go in the real world scenario. So that is something that a lot of people will experience.
Yeah, so as mentioned about the competition, as we had the BAScii subject, a lot of people here, they want to apply and improve the knowledge that they gain from class and to improve to gain more experience. So they use what we do in class to go gain more experience from doing the competition. And even the competition itself is not limited to just some certain field, but there's various field, depends on your interest, based on your interest. For example, you can apply for agriculture, beauty, technology. So to sum up everything about activity in BAScii, you don't need to worry that when you come and apply here to BAScii, you're just going to focus on academic part, because all the extracurricular activity is going to form you to be well-rounded and also bond with people.
Yeah, so that's right, that's it. So you'll get to bond with people, but the last and the most important part is the community in BAScii. Every place, community is always the key, and so is in BAScii. Actually, when talking about BAScii, the community really what makes us unique. Because unlike any other faculties where all students have similar skills, share the same passion, in BAScii, everyone actually specialize differently. They are all good at something, and then they are also interested in something. Like some people in this scenario, I might be good in something while she is totally good in a completely different thing. One may be good in design, one may be good in coding or technology or business, but at the same time, we all share the same passion. We all have like that spark that we want to create a startup, that we want to create an SME or a business in the future. And because of all of these, in the end, we all fit together so well. We all become really good friends, and at the same time, we all work together really nicely. And also because of the activities, all the times that we spend as a faculty, we really have that bonding time that really makes us get closer to one another just much more. And because of all of these, I really feel like BAScii, the faculty in BAScii, although we are small for now, but we are really tight and we are really strong, and that is our strength, and that really makes our community really like a family.
So as Pin mentioned, that we are a small faculty with in total just about 400 students, but all 400 students is diversified and we are all connected together. Even we are different, but that is also our strength too, because we learn from others, specialize, and everyone is well connected and also well born. So every time you talk to each other, you also gain something and you also feel comfortable. So you don't need to change yourself that much, and you can be your fully self being around all of these people. And this is why we are small, but we are the real family. And you may heard already about the BAScii student life from us perspective, and we also would like to share it from our senior perspective as well, and also some experience on the exchange student life, because they went for the student abroad. You already heard that we have the default program to send the student to do exchange and so internship with the international company. So let's hear about it.
Thank you, Phi Khwan and Phi Bin for the presentation. Now, before we move on to the panel session that we've all been waiting for, please give us a minute to set up the stage.
While we're waiting for the preparation, Phi Katun, let's discuss a little bit, since Phi Bin and Phi Khwan also talks about lots of areas in our faculties, right? I wonder what's your favorite room?
Well, to me, it's probably the student lounge because, you know, I like with the ping pong table and the sofa, it's just a really great stress reliever for me. What about you?
Well, for me, it has to be the study room for sure. Not because like I like to study that much, but like it's to do more with the atmosphere and the teamwork. You can also like assign roles in there, and you get a community vibe a little bit in there with all the seniors and juniors mixing together in there.
Okay, looks like our stage is almost ready.
All
Okay,
right.
are we ready?
Yes. So before we start, can you all introduce yourself, please? Starting from Piang Pao.
Hello, my name is Chairpat Warahan. I'm a senior year of BAScii.
Hello,ค่ะ. My name is Prem Hutchison. My nickname also Prem. I am a senior at BAScii as well,ค่ะ.
And I already introduced myself, but I'll reintroduce. My name is Pipin Pin Naka, and I'm a sophomore in BAScii.
Hi, and as I already introduced myself already too, my name is Hwan, and I'm the second year student here in BAScii,ค่ะ.
Okay, so let's begin this session. I think everybody knows that BAScii is a very new faculty. It has only been established for 4 years. And I think this is a very common question you might come across. So the question is, why did you choose BAScii? We can start from Pi Hwan.
Okay, so begin with me first. I need to be honest here that when I graduated from school, I have an idea of not continue being in the university because I have chance to work on my own business. Even I don't have any business background before, but I found the way to find sustainable revenue income for me to sustain myself and also my family. So it feels like being in the university and come to learn the stuff that you can find on internet or YouTube is kind of a little bit waste of time because I studied in high school before, and sometimes when I don't understand the content in class, I need to go revise it myself online anyway. But when I found the curriculum of BAScii and see that it's project-based, that's really catch me because it's learning by doing, and this experience, I cannot find it myself on YouTube. So that is one of the reasons I come to join BAScii. And another reason is that because I still wondering where is the best pathway for me to go. I am kind of like active person who have interest in many fields and areas and have a lot of things that want to do in my life. But BAScii give me the opportunity to continuously explore myself. So I have an ideas that I want to change and turns it into real life action and real life project. BAScii really give me that opportunity to do so too. For example, I really want to do the project that helps on the social change. And from applying to BAScii, you have the project seed subject, right? Where you work on it for the whole full year. So I can see that if I apply for this program, I can work it like fully 4 years, see the progress of each of my ideas turning into real life action and get a little bit more closer to the goals that I want to achieve in my life. So that is the reason why I choose BAScii.
Well, for me, my reasons are quite different, actually a lot different. It's because when I was in high school, of course, I had the thought that, yes, I'm going to college. Well, but it's also, I have this one thing in mind, and it is that I'm not sure which specialization or which scope is really like the right one for me. When I was in high school, I was the type of kids that is like interested in multiple fields, and I did not want to, you know, decide on a major to really like, because I feel like when you decide on a major, that's when you really pick a scope of what you want to do in life. I feel like when I looked into the curriculum of BAScii, there's like the interesting part of being able to customize your own path, being able to constantly switch up your interests constantly year by year, and I feel that's really what makes BAScii stand out to me and why I chose to come into BAScii. Is because instead of having my scope limited to just business, communications, or economics, I was really able to constantly choose and continue to explore myself on what I want to do in the future. That is for me. And also, second part is like hers is the project-based learning. I feel like when we actually get to do something when we get to learn something, by actually doing, it really makes us really well in dealing with real life scenarios.
For me, it's quite different from the first two, since I'm the first batches. I never heard of startup before at that time. So I have to do a lot of research with like curriculum and also the word startup and what you do with startup. But when I did a lot of research, I found out that, oh, this is quite interesting and challenging. And this program is adapted with the 21st century already, which will be useful in the future for sure. So that's why I chose to be in BAScii.
So for me, like all of these people have said, the reason I chose BAScii is like I came to open house like all of you guys here, and I felt like this is the faculty that I want to learn. So because like it can help me develop myself into many other aspects. Thanks.
Okay, so from what we've heard, so they've had a lot of first impression with BAScii. So now I'd like to ask that you've been here for the second year, right?พี่ขวัญ andพี่Bin. So how are you finding your experience now in BAScii?
So for me, before joining BAScii, I barely have background in technology and startups, but I feel like being here in BAScii doesn't scare me that much of don't have any background knowledge on the fields. So the things that I learned and feels like BAScii have changed my mindset is the opportunity to learn and also the seeking for the opportunities, which is like just learning by the class is maybe not enough. The reason I joined BAScii, as mentioned, is I want to turn my idea into real life project, right? But the idea of just joining the program doesn't help you that much if you didn't seek out for the opportunity outside of the classroom. So that is the things that kind of changed my mindset a little bit. And also another thing that I impressed about being here in BAScii is the diversity and the opportunity for you to be your own self fully, and everyone still embraced with that and how people connected together. Yeah.
Well, for me, my two things. First is my perception towards BAScii definitely changed a lot, because before I came in, I thought I see BAScii as the startup world. Actually, before I came to BAScii, I thought it was going to be like that Korean series startup where people come in and can test out their startup ideas, test out their projects. But in fact, when I am actually a BAScii student, I realized so many things. First, I realized how 21st century skills, hard skills, soft skills, all these specializations, and like the transdisciplinary courses, like how significant they are to our future. And I realized how much of how the fact that BAScii really wants to shape us to become future entrepreneurs. Not only do they want us to be able to, deal with real life scenarios, but I feel like BAScii really makes us understand how to deal with them, or how we can use such specializations to adapt and benefit each sector of the future. And meanwhile, for my experience, typically before, I was also scared like Juan, actually, because I did not have any technological background or that in-depth background of business. So I was actually quite afraid, and I was not so sure about the term startup as well, actually. But when I came in, the community is so various. People are specialized in different things, and that is really what inspires me and makes me learn so much, because people inspire each other, motivate each other, and encourage each other to always constantly try new things and learn new experience.
Wow, great insights from both of you. It's really great to see that people have different insights and angles into how they see things. Actually, P. already spoiled a little bit about Project Seed. This is a first-year mandatory course we have to take in year one and throughout the year. Project Seed. This is like where we have a teamwork, where we have groups of students to do a project together. And since we all have all the expertise here, I would like to ask P. Yang Pao and P. Prim about the projects that you're doing right now.
Okay, for me, now I'm doing a capstone project about carpooling service called Titrot. It's a service that aims to help meet the needs of the new generation, 3Cs, cheap, convenient, and comfortable. We match people who travel by cars through to get along with people that goes in the same direction.
For me, I have working on several startups, but at the end, in the fourth year, we have many choices to choose for capstone, but I chose to do the social campaign. I started the walkable.bkk, where we started to create awareness about walkability for people around Jula area. And now we are doing some prototyping, so please, if you have chance, please follow us on walkable.bkk. Thank you.
Okay, very interesting projects from both of them, Naha. So now can we ask Pikwan and Pipin again, Naha, what do you think makes BAScii stand out from other faculty? Like, why is it unique?
I will say the diversity and the connection among the faculty and the student ourselves. So when I say about diversity, you might heard a lot that you may feel like BAScii students learn a lot of subject, right? And there's going to be the people that specialize in different fields. But as I mentioned again, that you don't have to be afraid of it because we are really gaining something out of that and people is accepting you for who you are. And this diversity is not our weakness, but is our strength because here in BAScii, what is really impressed me is like it's not others faculty that when you look around and you will see people that is going to look similar. But here in BAScii, you see people and you will see how they're special in their fields or their interests or even their mindset and how they do their work. So that is what makes BAScii stand out for me. And also when talking about the connection among the students itself because we are well born to each other. So we actually help and bring us to kind of like, for example, if you're interested to do this kind of competition or project, you can also go ask your friend and do it together. And also the connection that the faculty has between the university and the company, as you might heard at the very beginning of the open house. That is really what makes BAScii stand out from others faculty in my perspectives because these opportunities that the school provides for us is really help us with the learning experience and helps us pursue our dreams. For example, the exchange program that every student will have a chance to go to the university based on their interests or the company that we have partnership with. And they actually not just partnership for the internship, but we actually doing the project with them in a term project in, for example, our marketing class, our business class. So since our first years being a student, we learn by working with the company, the real life company, and work in a little sector. So that is where you learn by you actually see the real world and how it's like. So that would be for me.
Yeah, so to add on the connections, there are so many ways you can get connections in BAScii. Like Juan said, from the partnership that BAScii has, can be connections for internship, for study abroad, or even like internship abroad, all the opportunities that you can think of, as well as connections from your friends, family businesses, or even connections from, since we all foster our own startup, each team fosters their own startup in BAScii. Like for instance, Pietro has her own startup. In the future, that can be our connection as well. That is for the connection part. And meanwhile, for me, apart from the community, from the loads of connections, what really stood out for me, this is going to repeat a little bit with the first answer, is the curriculum. The ability to be able to customize your own curriculum and the fact that you can constantly switch up your interests because it is like every year we all grow and we all become interested in different aspects constantly, and I feel like BAScii really understands that and really allows all the students to switch up their future according to the time that they are interested in and the specialization that they want to learn more about. That is for me.
Okay, picking up on พี่ปินปินพี่ขอขวัญนะครับ so yeah, BAScii also provided an exchange program as well so that students can get the experiences outside of BAScii, outside of Chula, and outside of Bangkok as well. And we have our two exchange students here as well, พี่ปริมand พี่หยางเปา. So I would like to ask you about what country did you select, which university, and also why did you pick the university you've attended?
For me, I went to Germany, and the university is Ludwig Maximilian University of Munich. And the reason I chose is I've been to Germany since I was young, and I felt in love with how nice people there, how the environment there. So I chose to go to Germany.
For me, I went to University of California, Berkeley, in California, in United States. I have three main reasons why I went there. First one is the program. It's called Startup Semester Program. As Dr. Pietro already mentioned, that one is very interesting and is similar to what I'm studying in BAScii. So I want to study it, want to see another aspect for another university. Second is the life there. I know if I'm live in US, I'm gonna survive. I mean, I don't have to study my third language. I will be fine with that. And the last one is about university. As you know, Berkeley is one of the global leading university, and it's a good opportunity to be there.
Thank you both.
Thank you นะคะ พี่พริม and พี่หยางเปา and so we both know that you both have gone to the exchange program. So what we want to know is it hard to go for the exchange, and what benefits would you say you got from the experience?
For me, it's quite hard during the first couple of months because for me, I went to Germany, and most Germany people don't barely use English. So my main language is German. So I need to prepare for my German language, and I think it helps me boost it helps me become to boost myself to learning German language.
So when it's hard, it's become two parts, the daily life and study. For daily life, it's hard because you get to be in a new environment, like the new area where you don't know where's the supermarket, where's your home, where is your class. You have to be able to find everything by yourself, take care of yourself, like washing dishes, doing laundry, cooking, everything by yourself. And for study, it's hard because the tools, the method that they teach there is not the same as us. You have to be comfortable with it and be adapt with yourself. And as Sang Pao said, if you can face your the first 2 or 3 months, then you will be fine.
I can see clearly that the exchange program has taught you both to be more responsible and adaptive to the changes, right? To add on what Cartoon just asked, I want to know what course did you choose and why did you choose that?
So I took 12 credits as to maintain my visa, but I have in total 4 classes technology firm leaderships, Richard Newton, which is a seminar, participant observation, and challenge lab.
And I took 3 subjects there, international management, human resource management. 2 of them are from the field of business administration. And the other one, of course, German language, because I need to use it as my daily life.
Okay, thank you so much นะคะ พี่พริม and พี่หยางเปา. So now we know what kind of experience what we should expect when we go on to the exchange program. And now on to our last question. This one we would like all of you to answer. So what would you give as a piece of advice for the future BAScii students who might even be sitting with us in this very room? We can start with P. Ang Pao.
For me, I think for the people who are likely to be here next year, I want to give a little advice about be prepared for an unexpected change, as you may not know what's going to happen in the near future.
For me, is don't stay in group. I mean, BAScii is standalone in this building, and we're not in the main Chula area, then we didn't see a lot of people. So I want you guys to explore around Chula. I mean, to meet new people, for many faculty to learn new things, not just only what BAScii taught us.
Well, for me, my tips would be on the portfolio and on the interviews, actually. So the tip would be, I know that there are so many sections that you have to fill out in the template for your portfolio. So when filling out, try not to overthink too much, actually. Try to, think of what you have done in the past, what really defines you, what activities that you're interested in, what activities that you think has changed you a lot, and just put that in your portfolio. Maybe for sections like overseas experience or parts that you may not have done before, technological parts, there are still time, so there are still chances that you can, go on and try those experience. Or maybe for overseas, you can try those free programs that are available on the internet to improve your skills. Technological, for some of you that don't have that, it is totally okay because, like I said, BAScii students are all specialized in their own way. So just be yourself and try your best in your portfolio, and it's going to be okay.
So for my tips and tricks and recommendation, I would say don't pressure yourself too much and be yourself, because you may not realize how special it is for you to be yourself. As Pietro mentioned, and lots of you guys may wonder about applications to the program, right? We have aptitude tests, we have portfolio, and you might pressure and afraid that what information that you are going to fill in those parts and how you're going to prepare yourself to be ready for that. But I would say here from my experience that being yourself is one of a great advice, because you are going to spend the rest of 4 years here in this program, and by pressure yourself or do the things that is not you, maybe is not going to make you suitable for BAScii, but also add the advice from Pietro that if you're missing some part from your portfolio, you can go seek the opportunities outside, and you may try that, is that suitable for you or not. And yeah, so don't pressure yourself too much and feel free to be yourself.
And to add on, I want to also point out that SAT score is 50% of the criteria that you get into BAScii. So you may want to consider to also put a lot of effort into your interview and your portfolio. And also one last, this is not really a tip or trick, but more of like an invitation. So basically next year, BAScii, the student body is planning on hosting a 3-day camp called Inside Playground that really allows students to, try to experience the real glimpses of BAScii with the BAScii upperclassmen. So if you are interested in this camp, be sure to can check all our social media pages. The Student Council or Inside Playground's own channel called inside.playground on Instagram. So that would be from me.
So lastly for me, I promise is the last one, but I would say that the admin staff here in ScII program are super friendly and they are really happy to help. So if you have the question related to the program or you need help for the application, you can reach them out through all the communication platform, Line, Facebook, Instagram, or if you have a question about the student bodies or life and experiences or some insight, you can always see and follow our Instagram, BAScii Student Council, to see more information. And good luck everyone for your application.
Thank you, BP, very much for sharing this moment and session together. Okay, I think some of the audience might have some questions to ask us. So let's prepare the stage for a minute and we'll then move on to the Q&A session. Okay, while we're waiting for the preparation, for online participants, you can send your question on the live chat box. Our staffs are ready to bring your wonder up on stage. Now, we would like to also invite Mr. Prashanakap on stage to answer the question that the audience have.
Okay. Now we are ready to answer all of your pressing questions และสำหรับท่านไหนที่ต้องการถามเป็นภาษาไทยก็สามารถถามได้เลยเช่นกันนะคะ
ยกมือได้เลยนะครับเดี๋ยวจะมีพี่สตาฟเอาไมค์ไปให้นะครับ
มีคนยกมือด้านหลังสุดเลยนะคะ
รบกวนพี่สตาฟเดินขึ้นไปด้วยนะครับ
รอสักครู่นะคะพี่สตาฟกำลังวิ่งขึ้นไปตรงกลางข้างด้านหลังเลยค่ะ
คือที่มีก่อนหน้านี้ในขั้นตอนการสมัครค่ะมันจะมี aptitude test ตอนที่หลังจากสัมภาษณ์หรือว่าก่อนสัมภาษณ์ไม่รู้มันคืออะไรอะคะเป็นข้อเขียนหรือเปล่า
ในส่วนของ aptitude test นะครับก็คือว่าจะอยู่ก่อนช่วงสัมภาษณ์นะครับเป็นเหมือนคำถาม screening สั้นๆเกี่ยวกับความรู้ทางด้าน math เทคโนโลยีหรือว่าเรื่อง innovation ครับผมก็จะเป็นช่วงสั้นๆก่อนที่จะเข้าถึงคำถามสัมภาษณ์ครับ
แต่ก็อยู่แบบว่าตอนรวมก็คือวันสัมภาษณ์เลยใช่ไหมคะ
ใช่ครับก่อนเข้าสัมภาษณ์ใช่ครับผม
ค่ะแล้วก็ก่อนหน้านี้ที่เทมเพลตพอร์ตโฟลิโอคือต้องโหลดมาส่งหรือว่าสามารถเติมออนไลน์ได้เลยอะคะ
สำหรับเทมเพลตนะครับเป็นแค่เหมือนตัวอย่างให้ดูเฉยๆว่าเราต้องเตรียมอะไรหรือว่าต้องกรอกอะไรบ้างโดยเบื้องต้นเนี่ยก็อาจจะสามารถโหลดเป็น PDF ไฟล์ออกมาแล้วก็กรอกคร่าวๆไว้ก่อนนะครับหรือว่าอาจจะสามารถกรอกจริงๆเลยก็ได้แต่ว่าตอนที่ส่งใบสมัครครับเราจะต้องเข้าไปกรอกในระบบอีกทีหนึ่งของ e-portfolio แต่ว่าเทมเพลตเนี่ยก็คือเพื่อให้เราดูว่าโอเคคำถามมันจะเป็นประมาณไหนเราต้องเตรียมข้อมูลอะไรบ้างประมาณแบบนี้ครับ
ขอบคุณค่ะแล้วก็มาที่เรื่องทุนนะคะเมื่อกี้เห็นหน้านึงเขียนว่า gifted scholarship มันคืออะไรเหรอคะ
ถ้าเกิดว่าตรงส่วนนั้นนะครับจะเป็นgifted faculty ครับก็คือว่าเป็นเหมือนโครงการที่เราจะดึงดูดอาจารย์นะครับสำหรับชาวต่างชาติอันนี้จะเป็นสำหรับของอาจารย์เพื่อที่ดึงดูดอาจารย์ที่มีความรู้ความสามารถนะครับเข้ามาสอนที่สถาบันครับผม
แล้วก็ทุนคำถามสุดท้ายนะคะทุนปกติคือมันให้ยังไงคะต่อปีสำหรับเด็กไทย
ถ้าเกิดว่าสำหรับน้องๆคนไทยนะครับปกติเราจะมีให้เป็น awards ก็คือว่าจะให้หลังจากจบในทุกๆปีการศึกษานะครับก็คือจะให้เป็น2ประเภทด้วยกันก็คือเราจะคัดจากน้องๆนิสิตที่มีผลการเรียนดีเด่นนะครับในแต่ละแบทในแต่ละรุ่นแล้วก็อีกอย่างหนึ่งก็จะเป็นสำหรับน้องๆที่มีผลงานหรือว่าการทำกิจกรรมดีเด่นสามารถที่จะส่งใบสมัครเข้ามาเนี่ยเพื่อให้เราทางเราพิจารณาได้นะครับผมโดยเบื้องต้นเนี่ยเราก็จะมีการคัดเลือกทุกๆหลังจากที่จบปีการศึกษาครับผม
แล้ว coverage นี่คือทั้งหมดเลยหรือว่าทุนบางส่วนเฉยๆอะคะ
ถ้าเกิดว่าเป็นในส่วนของกิจกรรมนะครับเราก็จะดูจากทั้งปี1ถึงปี4แต่ว่าถ้าเกิดว่าเป็นในส่วนของดูจาก GPAC หรือว่าดูจากผลการเรียนเนี่ยเราก็จะดูเป็นในแต่ละชั้นปีไปครับ
แล้วแบบว่าจำนวนเงิน
ถ้าเกิดว่าในส่วนของจำนวนเงินนะครับถ้าเป็นในส่วนของ GPAC เนี่ยเราก็จะมีให้เป็นทุนละ 100,000 บาทครับผมแต่ว่าถ้าเกิดว่าเป็นในส่วนของกิจกรรมเนี่ยเราก็จะต้องดูอีกทีว่ามีผู้เข้าสมัครเนี่ยทั้งหมดเท่าไหร่มีผู้ผ่านการคัดเลือกเท่าไหร่ครับผมแล้วเราก็จะแจ้งอีกทีหนึ่งครับผม
โอเคค่ะมีแค่นี้แหละค่ะขอบคุณค่ะ
ยินดีครับ
ขอบคุณครับมีใครมีคำถามอีกยกมือขึ้นมาได้นะครับเรามีพี่สตาฟคอยเดินอยู่ทั่วเลย
มีตรงกลาง1คนค่ะรบกวนยกมืออีกรอบหนึ่งได้ไหมคะ
ยกสูงๆเลยครับ
สวัสดีค่ะคือเห็นในเอกสารแจ้งว่ารับ80คนในรอบที่1ใช่ไหมคะแล้วไม่ทราบว่ารอบที่2นี้มีจำนวนแจ้งไว้ไหมคะ
ถ้าเกิดว่าตามที่เราเหมือนตั้งโควต้าไว้นะครับในรอบของ Early Admission หรือว่าสำหรับน้องๆที่เป็นคนไทยเนี่ยรอบแรกเลยเราก็คือตั้งเป้าไว้รับที่80ส่วนอีก20เนี่ยก็จะเป็นรอบของ Early International Admission สำหรับน้องๆต่างชาตินะครับแต่ว่าทั้งนี้ทั้งนั้น เราไม่ได้จำเป็นว่าใน 80 เนี่ยเราจะต้องรับทั้งหมด 80 ในรอบเดียวเราก็จะดูจากคุณสมบัติของผู้สมัครด้วยว่าโอเคผ่านการคัดเลือกเท่าไหร่แล้วก็เราก็จะดูเหมือนตัดโควต้าเนี่ยไปสู่รอบอื่นๆที่เหลือนะครับอย่างเช่นสมมุติว่าถ้าเกิดว่าโควต้าของน้องๆ international admission เนี่ยโอเคมีได้ไม่ถึงตาม20เราก็จะปัดเป็นในรอบต่อไปแต่ว่าโดยปกติแล้วเนี่ยเราตั้งเป้าไว้ว่าจะรับที่ประมาณ100 คนนะครับในต่อ1รุ่นครับผม
ขออีกคำถามนะคะตอนอาจารย์เรียกสัมภาษณ์ผ่านนะคะอาจารย์ดูจากคุณสมบัติ3ข้อใช่ไหมคะก็คือเรื่องของคะแนนแล้วก็เรื่องของพอร์ตโฟลิโอแล้วก็สุดท้ายก็จะรวมคะแนนสัมภาษณ์แล้วก็ประกาศสุดท้ายเป็นไฟนอลลิสต์ที่80 คนใช่ไหมคะ
ใช่ครับถูกต้องครับก็คือว่าเราจะเบื้องต้นเนี่ยเราจะคัดเลือกก่อนดูจากคะแนนภาษาอังกฤษคะแนนเลขแล้วก็คะแนนพอร์ตโฟลิโอเราก็จะมาดูว่าโอเคมีผู้ที่ได้ทำคะแนนสูงสุดตามที่เราอยากจะให้เข้ามาสัมภาษณ์เนี่ยกี่คนนะครับแล้วก็จะเรียกเข้ามาสัมภาษณ์หลังจากนั้นก็ตามอย่างที่ผู้ปกครองพูดเลยครับก็คือเราก็จะเอาคะแนนส่วนของ 30% จาก aptitude test แล้วก็สัมภาษณ์เนี่ยเอามารวมเข้ากับคะแนนอีก3ส่วนที่เหลือแล้วเราก็จะคัดออกมาเป็นผู้ที่เรารับเลือกเข้ามาเป็นนิสิตที่บาซายครับ
อาจารย์แล้วกรณีที่ผู้สมัครมีเยอะอะค่ะอาจารย์แล้วคุณสมบัติเขาผ่านอาจารย์เรียกสัมภาษณ์ทั้งหมดเลยไหมคะ
อันนี้เราจะดูนะครับคือเบื้องต้นเนี่ยอาจจะดูประมาณดูว่า capacity หรือน้องๆที่ผ่านเนี่ยมีประมาณกี่คนแต่ว่าทั้งหมดเลยเราอาจจะไม่ถึงกับถ้าเกิดว่าผู้สมัครมีปริมาณมากเลยเนี่ยเราอาจจะไม่ได้เรียกทั้งหมดนะครับเราจะมีตัดโควต้าของเราครับผม
ขอบคุณนะคะ
ขอบคุณค่ะเมื่อกี้เหมือนมีตรงกลางท่านหนึ่งที่ยกมือใช่ไหมคะ
โอเคครับไม่ไปด้านนั้นเลยครับ
เดี๋ยวรอสักครู่นะคะ
สวัสดีครับจะถามครับว่าในตัวคะแนนที่เรายื่นไปแล้วมีการเลือกอะครับอย่างปีที่แล้วรอบ1กับรอบ2มีการเลือกมีการสมัครมาแล้วกี่คนครับจำนวนที่สมัครมาทั้งหมดนะครับ
หมายถึงว่าจากปี 2022 ใช่ไหมครับ
รอบปีล่าสุดที่เป็นปี1ที่เข้าปีนี้ครับมีคนสมัคร
ที่เข้าปีนี้รอบแรกเลยเนี่ยจะเริ่มในวันพรุ่งนี้นะครับเป็น early Thai admission ของปี 2023 ใช่ไหมครับที่จะเข้ารุ่นต่อไป
ไม่ใช่ครับเป็นของปีที่แล้วครับที่สมัครมาแบบนักเรียนสมัครมากี่คนทั้งหมดในพูลที่เลือกมาฮะ
จำนวนใช่ไหมครับโอเคก็เรารับทั้งหมด100 คนครับผม
หมายถึงจำนวนที่แบบสมัครมาทั้งหมดก่อนที่จะมาเลือกครับมีประมาณกี่คนครับพอจะมีข้อมูลไหมครับ
เดี๋ยวข้อมูลประมาณ400 คนครับผมทั้งหมด
โอเคครับข้อต่อไปนะครับคือพอดีวันนี้ผมงงนิดหน่อยครับว่าตัวพอร์ตโฟลิโอครับที่บอกเป็น e-portfolio นี่คือเราต้องส่งเป็นฟอร์ม PDF เลยเหมือนเทมเพลตที่เขาให้มาหรือว่าเราจะต้องมาใส่เป็น Google Form เพิ่มเติมแบบข้อต่อข้อว่าในหัวข้อนี้เราต้องการเป็นอันนี้มาครับ
ก็ในระบบออนไลน์นะครับก็คือจะมีเป็นเซกชันของ e-portfolio ให้กรอกอีกทีหนึ่งตอนที่ส่งใบสมัครแต่ว่าเทมเพลตนะครับก็คืออย่างที่แจ้งไปเบื้องต้นคือเหมือนแค่ให้เราเตรียมตัวเฉยๆว่าเราควรจะต้องเขียนยังไงช่องไหนเติมอะไรบ้างต้องการข้อมูลในส่วนไหนบ้างหรือว่าให้เราเหมือนเตรียมตัวดูว่ารูปที่จะใช้หรือว่าจะอธิบาย description เนี่ยมียังไงแต่ว่าสุดท้ายแล้วตอนที่จะส่งใบสมัครครับก็คือมันจะเป็นเซกชันให้เรากรอกเลยซึ่งพวกช่องต่างๆเนี่ยมันก็จะคล้ายกับที่เราเห็นในเทมเพลตที่ให้ดาวน์โหลดได้เลยครับ
โอเคครับแล้วข้อสุดท้ายนะครับในข้อ1ที่เริ่มต้นของ Portfolio ครับคือ Executive Summary นี่คือจะเน้นเป็นแนวไหนครับเหมือนกับว่าเป็นการสรุป Portfolio ทั้งหมดก่อนที่จะเริ่มต้นหรือว่าเป็นการแนะนำตัวเองอะไรอย่างนี้ครับ
เบื้องต้นอาจจะเป็นเรื่องของการแนะนำตัวเองนะครับว่าเหมือนเป็นประวัติทางการศึกษาหรือว่าความรู้ความสนใจในเรื่องของโปรเจกต์ว่าเราอยากทำโปรเจกต์อะไรบ้างมีความเชี่ยวชาญในทางด้านไหนประมาณแบบนี้ครับ
โอเคครับขอบคุณมากครับ
ขอบคุณครับตอนนี้เหลือเวลาให้อีกแค่1คำถามเท่านั้นนะครับมีน้องๆคนไหนอยากถามพี่ๆไหมเอ่ย
ด้านหน้ามี1
ยกมือได้โอเคส
วัสดีครับขออนุญาตถามหนึ่งคำถามครึ่งนะครับถ้าเกิดว่าผมแอพพลายคณะอื่นไปครับแล้วต้องสัมภาษณ์ในวันเดียวกัน อันนี้พอจะติดต่อเลื่อนวันสัมภาษณ์ได้ไหมครับ
ได้ครับก็คือให้ติดต่อเข้ามาทางอีเมลสมมุติว่าถ้าเกิดว่าน้องได้รับเลือกให้สัมภาษณ์เนี่ยเราจะมีการส่งอีเมลไปให้นะครับก็แจ้งกลับมาว่าโอเคเราติดอะไรตรงไหนอยากจะขอเลื่อนหรือขออะไรก็สามารถติดต่อเจ้าหน้าที่ได้ครับผมทางอีเมลนะครับตอบกลับมาทางอีเมลที่เราได้รับเบื้องต้น
พอจะบอกคะแนนต่ำสุดที่เข้ามาในบาสไซของปีที่แล้วได้ไหมครับ
คะแนนต่ำสุดเหรอครับ
ครับของเซตกับ IEL อะครับ
คะแนนต่ำสุดจริงๆเราอันนี้อาจจะไม่สามารถแจ้งได้ครับแต่ว่าเอาเป็นคะแนนเฉลี่ยก็คือตามที่โชว์ให้เห็นในpresentation นะครับ
ขอบคุณครับ
Okay, Khab. Thank you for all the questions. If you have more questions, remember to contact us by call, by line, or by email that you can see on the screen. Oh, it's not coming up, but you can check on our website. So before we're closing the event, can we take a group photo with everyone here to promote in our social media platform? If you do not feel comfortable, please let us know. But if you're still here, we will assume that we have been granted PDPA permission from you all. Okay, so the cameraman will be here.
Okay, let's take a picture.
Yeah. ลงได้ครับลงไปข้างล่างก็ได้ครับเดี๋ยวเขาน่าจะเป็นตรงนี้ Okay,ครับ everyone. 1, 2, 3. Okay, ครับ one more shots นะครับโอเคครับ one more นะครับ
ขอบคุณนะคะ
Okay. Do not leave just yet นะครับแป๊บนึงครับ
And that marks the end of Inside ScII. Please be reminded that we'll be opening the admission system for the early admission round tomorrow until December 22nd. So we wish you the very best and hope to see you all again on the interview day. My name is Ninrung Samaitong.
And myself, Sala Wiangkao. Thank you for coming today very much. It's been an honor to host this event and hope you have a safe trip home. ขอบคุณครับ
ขอบคุณค่ะรบกวนท่านที่นำแก้วน้ำเอาที่เอาออกมาจากข้างนอกเข้ามาในห้องนะคะรบกวนนำออกไปวางที่โต๊ะข้างนอกให้ด้วยนะคะ
รบกวนได้ครับ
ขอบคุณมากค่ะ